everybody, it's me, Trader Max here from Shogun Social, and we are here live on Saturday, the 11th of January, and boy, are we excited. There is so much happening today that we can't wait to get in front of you with everything that we got coming. We may have a panelist here pretty soon. We kind of threw this in last second because we wanted to make the Saturday show. Yesterday, we had such a great show. There was over 300 people who tuned into our show from X and YouTube, and it was amazing. Such a great time yesterday. And for all those that contributed and came to us, we really do appreciate everything you did yesterday by sharing the show. Now, also, we need your help today, you little army out there, because I know we've already got 11 viewers in here. I want you to get out there and share this show everywhere you possibly can. Take it to all the coins that you want to show what this place is. Get them over to our X over at Shogun Crypto, and make sure that you like and follow from that position, and make sure that you follow us as well so we can get this user count up. We're well over 1,000. We brought 200 new people in yesterday. We want to bring even more. Why? Because we want to offer this coin stuff out to every single person that has the coin in the community to be a part of. If you are somebody who wants to show, reach out to our DMs inside and let's get you on board. It's seamless, it's easy, and it's fun. But make sure that you come with a great attitude, no fun in here, and there's no real nastiness that we try to play with, right? We want to have fun with your coin as well. Okay, well, I'm Trader Max, and I'm joined by Crypto Quentin next to me. How you doing, buddy?
Doing fantastic, sir. How about you, sir?
Doing great. So listen, we got some good stuff happening today between the both of us. We will have some panelists coming up. And if you want to shill the show, please make sure you reach out to us. And you want to shill your own stuff, make sure you hit us in the DMs. Let's get started. All right, we're here. This is our second show. I even have our buddy Addison. How you doing, Addison?
What's up, guys? Can you hear me?
Oh yeah, how you doing? I love the PFB.
Thank you. Is that based on that for on base?
Yeah, awesome. So in today's show, this is what we call a shill, a chill, and alpha. So in the shilling part of it, we talk about all the coins. Now we're bringing you in as a again, this was very impromptu. I think I messaged you yesterday, and then we just hooked it up here last second. So it took you like 3 minutes to figure it all out and be here right now, which is absolutely wonderful. But we're going to kind of have you do, we're going to come in and talk for a few seconds. I want you to kind of get affiliated with what's around you, get acclimated to everything that you see in there. There's going to be a lot of stuff in there. There is a little private chat on the side. So if you need, you just click that private chat, ask me any questions off air and if you have any issues or any problems, or you want to know where stuff goes, keep everything that I sent to you privately. And if you have any problems, just reach me into there. Okay. There is also an opportunity for you to share and attach if you have a Twitter account, if you're active to your Twitter, you can actually pump this show live through your Twitter feed as well. And it will show up on the side of the network. You also have the availability to do present, which means you can show your screen. When the time comes, I'll ask you to show your screen to tell us all a little bit about. So in this first segment, Mr. Quentin and I will come out and we'll talk for a few minutes and then have you come out and basically give us like a top line shill. And then I'm going to have you stick around as a panelist if you got some time. And as we talk into our chill side, which is all going to be about CTOs. So this should be right up your alley, right? In the mentality of people that's out there.
Yeah,
and because you got a ton of experience with CTOs, don't you?
Yeah, learning the process of CTO and some stuff. I've helped out with some CTOs, and yeah, I can definitely provide some knowledge and insight on that level.
Cool. And then finally, we're going to have some alpha, which means that we're going to be releasing some stuff that we have done. And you can talk about anything that you may have coming into the works. The only rule for alpha is that it has to be fundamentally being built. Like it can't be in concept mode still. It has to be in that mode of, all right, I have the foundation. It's sitting on a server. We just got to fill it all out. And that's the only rule for that. But if you got good concept, that may be another video that we'll do later. Anything that you come out during your shill portion, Addison, for whatever you're looking to shill at that time, I'm going to clip later and put into our YouTube channel to be able to get it out there for everybody to see. Excuse me, my mess. I'm all still wearing karate gear from earlier, so I apologize. But we'll make sure that you get that out there. It'll be on our Twitter feed. It'll be in our YouTube channel. It'll be a little bit everywhere. Also, if you do have community, make sure that they're watching and sharing and getting it out there as well.
How do I share it around? Do I share the main link or stream to your audience, or what's the best way to do that?
So so you can go to our crypto, our X account, right? The Shogun Cryptos account,
Yeah.
um, and go from there, and then just click on that show, and then share that link to that post, because that should be on the post right there.
Great. We'll do
Let
that.
me see if I go to profile. It's on mine as well on my Trader Max, but I want to share it from the main, from that process. And I already see it. It's in the live section. This is amazing, being able to see that. I'm going to share my screen so people can see what I'm looking at here on the side. Get in there. Let me see. Presents. Boom, boom, boom. Dark screen. I got to make sure I got there also, because that's what we learned last time. And then let's see. Let's drag over the X. Let's go to x.com. Don't put too many X's in there, Max. There it is. So you'll simply come over here. You'll click onto that. It'll isolate there. And then you have this whole entire code up here. I'm going to put that in a private chat for you right there. Oop, yeah, it's a private chat right there. So there's a link in there. You probably barely see it at that point. For everybody else, thanks for being here today. Absolutely awesome. There's Shane. Welcome, Addison. Thanks for supporting Shogun. Addison is actually fucking wonderful. This guy's going to be great. Nerdy dude. Hello, nerdy dude. How you doing? Welcome. 47 people on the show so far. As we start getting things ready, make sure that you get over to that post. Make sure you also follow myself, if you can, over at Trader Max, at Mr. Trader Max, over on X as well. We'll put it out into the room. Wherever you're at, wherever you're watching at right now, you can comment. We can be in there. We'll be able to comment, and you'll hear us. We'll show your comment up on screen, and we'll talk back your comment to you. We may not be able to comment back to you through X at that point, but if you are on YouTube, you can. If you're over on YouTube, we can interact back and forth from this chat room. We are getting the API structure from X. This is the hard part, is that the new API structure had broken on a few of the major big companies. All right. All right. Next in this process, we're going to be jumping into the Shill section. Now, before we do that, Mr. Quentin and I started this process yesterday of using this network of streaming systems. And it's very robust. It's very easy to use. It's a lot of fun as we let Mr. Addison get his crews in. People on 57 people watching right now. Welcome. You're watching the Shogun Gun Show. You're tuned in. There's TrackyBot. Hey, TrackyBot. Would love to have you up on the show as a shiller. We'll talk to you about that here in a moment. Mr. Addison is joining us, and we're going to talk about where he is from in just a moment. In the future, shows that will sign up prior to the show firing off. Mr. Addison came in right around 3 minutes before the show started. I messaged him to come over, and which is absolutely wonderful. He was able to figure it out and get in there pretty quickly. But Mr. Quentin, Crypto Quentin's here with us today as co-host and my right-hand man in most of the stuff that we do with Everything website. Man, what do you think about what's happened with the way Shogun has just sort of taken on this whole new essence of the way to do spaces? What do you think?
Honestly, I think it's fantastic. I have overall been new to spaces. I'm more of like the W2 website in the back office creating stuff type of guy. But doing those first couple shows with you, it was cool. Don't get me wrong, but we saw very quickly some of the main issues that X had with spaces, the connection issues. But I did overall like the vibe of it.
Yeah.
Now going into this, even just in that first live or that first broadcast that we had yesterday, it felt so much better. I felt like I could more easily be in tune. Yesterday we had Rob over from Hedge, and it just everything about it. It was so much more personal. I really felt like I got a way better viewpoint because you have the audio, you have the visual aspect about it, and the communication here is so much more intimate. And being able to see that and being able to just take everything in, I feel more engaged. I feel more captivated.
I agree. Like I was watching the show after the fact. Like I went back in. I'm addicted to hearing how people's viewpoints are on these things. So, and it's being able to talk to the camera, and see the personality behind the individual, and it's important. But there's also, it's okay to be a PvP or PFP, right? And but if you have a camera, you got a good clean background, and there's no background noise and all that kind of stuff. And you can also do these on phone. So if you're a shiller, you can be on the phone, right? And I feel like it will work. You won't be able to share a lot. I'll have to go to a lot of the stuff for you because it doesn't have the option when you're on the phone, I think, to share your screen. It may have on some of them. I know Android's having a real hard time with the network, but I think the best part about this, it has such virility to it. Like 77 people watching right now. The majority of those are coming from our Shogun cryptos. We have very organic structure on Shogun crypto. And I think this system is powerful, and we're not going to be able to keep it a secret on how well it works. We are going to be training people how to do it, how to bring people into that education. All right. So Mr. Quinton and we're going to be going through this thing today, this show, and we're going to take this show as far as it can go. I don't want to get too boring and take it to exhaustion. I want you wanting more as we do this. So what we did is that we reached out to a couple people that we knew, and I met Addison a little while ago when we were talking about our AnvilBot. We had some stuff in there. And Addison, why don't you come on out and tell us a little bit about who you are, how we met, and what you're doing with us right now.
Yeah, so my name is Addison. My Twitter is Mr. Pepe Worldwide. I've been in crypto since like 2019. Started through, I was a Bitcoin maxi, stacking Bitcoin. Then kind of got into some NFT stuff on Polygon and DAOs and a bunch of stuff like that. And then I ended up I was one of the first. I was one of the first 1.3K holders in Pepe. So kind of saw that whole meme coin craze, and over the past 2 years, been growing my Twitter and stuff, and helping out with a couple different projects, just trying to learn and grow in the space. That there's a lot of opportunity. So how I came to meet you is I was in a space hosted by Easy.eth, which he allows people to come up and chill. And I think it was either you or your old partner. I think it was your old partner who came up and chilled the Shogun bot. And then I heard about it. I talked about a little bit when I started this CTO called Pepstard when Matt Fury posted one of his Peplicator NFTs. It got about 150,000 views. It ran up to like 700K. The dev team screwed it over. So some people, and myself came in and started to work on the project. Over a while, we sent it back up to 250K, and it went back down. And so one of the things we were talking about was the options for setting up volume bots and I thought the Shogun bot was interesting. So when I actually originally heard about it, I shared it with the Pepstard team. And so I was looking into it, and then you can look up pepstard.com. So how we originally met was at the beginning of the year. The other one was last PEPZARD.
PEPE.
No, PEPZARD.
ZARD. Okay.
Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah. So this was the main CTO. So the LYB project, the last year broke, where I originally met you, and we tested out the AnvilBot. I CTO'd at the beginning of the year.
Right.
So originally how I got into the chat, which we met, that the test group was, we were talking about using it for this project. So at the beginning of the year, we to set it up, we tested out on that last year broke project, and recently we switched over the AnvilBot to this project, which has a strong foundation. We're verified on Slingshot. We have Dex tools, Dex screener, all updated. Working on a new website and stuff. The website right now is fine, but so yeah, you can see the AnvilBot working. We just add another soul into there. I had also
working good.
1% of the supply. and yeah, so we have a bunch of memes, we have all the socials set up. So this is a project that really, when you're talking about like a good foundation, it's a project that it's not, it's, it's a 16K market cap, but the foundation of the project is really strong. We have a lot of memes. We have the Anvil bot going now, got the volume going. We have a strong team around it. We're deving out some stuff, and it's something that will be a slow cook.
Of course, low barrier of entry is always good, right?
Low barrier of entry, but it's something that like I said, has a strong foundation. And when you're talking about like CTOs, like when I was CTOing this before, it was sitting about like 20K, and then we sent it up to 250K. We had some people that were some top holders that kind of, in any project,
right.
It's hard to trust people. That's one of the things when you're talking about CTOs, you really got to have good, trustworthy people around you. And if you're going to send something, you need to go through these like shakeout periods to get the bad people that are just going to dump on you out, right? So, and then you focus on building the infrastructure and the foundation of the project that is going to make it sense. So right now, the next step for us is we have all these socials, and we can start pumping out all the content. We're looking into some AI agents and maybe pumping in the content. And we have this whole origin story of Pepsard. And
besides Pepsard being like the mentality of the CTO, I mean, this is a tough thing to get into. Right?
One last thing that I'm going to land my point here, and that is that like we're looking at like some like AI agents and some stuff, so like you can pump in like content into like some ChatGPT agents to help out with like pumping content on Twitter and rating and stuff. So when we're talking about building good tools and integrating good things, there's a lot of good things in Web3, like the Shogun Anvil bot and like AI agents and different things that are coming out. That I'm really in the mindset of learning and growing and grinding. Like the opportunities are endless in a bull market, right? So if you're getting around good people and you're focusing on building good tech and good projects, and you create a good ecosystem. Like a meme coin can be more than a meme coin. It's you're focusing on a community of people that, you look at the Milady community. It's an NFT project, but it has like all the base devs in the community surrounded in it and are able to build and send projects to billions, right?
Absolutely.
Like, so the opportunities to build communities like what you guys are doing with the Shogun community and building good like collaborations between projects and working together, right? The old saying, rising tides raises all ships. So that's really, as we're learning and growing in this space, you can see the origin story pinned above. You kind of go through that, anyone that wants to, but as we're growing and learning in the space, we can all come up together. And even if a price goes down or whatever, there's still things. It's like people ask how, like when is the pump going to happen? But you got to ask like
when is pump? Yeah, absolutely.
Pump, you got to ask like how pump, right? Like there's things that you can do to, and I've seen small groups of people come together and CTO things and send them to multi-millions to hundreds of millions, right? And then you garner more people around that as people come in and stuff, or as people invest and the project grows, right? So you create a good ecosystem and a good funnel for people to learn and grow and navigate this space that a lot of people are just saying, hey, buy this coin and then dumping on your heads, which is not
exactly
the way that it should be done.
It isn't, and like one of the commenters here, Dog, he's part of our community. You see by his PFP. And it says, definitely it's about building community and showing up. And when the foundation is already there, it's just a matter of time when consistency will bear fruit. I think this is the toughest part because nobody can see over the hill, right? They're always, based on, you'll, excuse me, you can tell a lot about somebody's attitude on how they respond to diversity of when things are happening. Excuse me. But it's tough because people do ask that question, when's marketing, when's pump, when's it going to happen, and it's difficult because there's a fine balance. And I think that's what I kind of want to, and I appreciate you coming in. We're in here doing a show with Addison from PepZard. And Addison's a panelist today. Go ahead.
One last thing here. The great thing about PepZard too is that he's like the mistake, like Pepe, right? And so you can see that, he was if you go through the story, the TLDR, he was like thrown into the abyss by his creators, was supposed to be this like perfect, like agile, indestructible, incorruptible. But, sometimes you're cast aside into the darkness to fight off and rise to the dark to be the hero that you want to be. So through any challenges that you're shown through crypto, there's always going to be challenges, right? But
of course,
with the spirit of PepZard and what we're kind of trying to facilitate is that, every challenge is overcomable. You're going to fight through the demons of whatever you're going to face. And if you keep going, you can prove that, you're not a mistake, and that even what people think are a mistake can be the brightest beacons of hope.
Absolutely. And this is a great story to listen to, because it's part of the same yin yang story that we get, the underdog, that mentality. This is brilliant. It's a good CTO to be a part of. Now, remember, being a panelist up here too, it's all about, we don't want to throw the whole story all out at once. We want to keep them hanging in there too and talk a little bit each time. And I promise you're going to get plenty of time here if you got the time to spend with us.
Oh, there's a lot cooking with this one. So I'm just I'm trickling it out, but yeah, you guys can look into it, read the story, look up the website, hop in RTG, ask questions. I'm always around. So,
no, awesome. Well, I want to keep you. So, do you have time to stick around with us? Is this okay for you to be here?
Yeah, I'm
okay. Cool. 161 people watching us right now, straight off the bat. No advertising whatsoever out. We just went live. Just went straight live. Didn't even preset to anybody. We told our crew that we were doing it. We didn't put out any pre-fillers. So 162 people. If you're watching this right now, you're one of those 162 people. Make sure that wherever you're watching from, put it in there. Tell us where you're watching from. Tell us the coin you're with, or if you have your favorite coin, if we're your favorite coin, that'd be cool too. But make sure that you get in there and interact with that chat. The algorithm is really what's working, especially over on our Shogun Cryptos. Make sure that you're on our X account over there. Share the space as well. Go in and share that space around. It's not even really a space. Why we created this network is about 3 days ago. We were doing we promoted so hard. It was like 3 days worth of promotion. We just came off of the back of a show that was getting rugged out at the very end. The quality was terrible. There was no availability to share and do stuff. So we were getting very frustrated at that point. Amy says it's all about patience. Things will fall in place when the time is right. Absolutely beautiful. Yes, Amy, that's amazing. Amy is one of our top 5, one of our business partners. I've known her for years and years and years. Solid. She's almost like family. She is family to me. I'm not saying almost, but she is family to me. But this concept of this show really got into this point of us being in control of the narrative, right? Like right now, we gotta really heavily depend in spaces on just, let's be real. We got to depend on Elon Musk and that mentality. Now if I look, you'll see over here on the right hand side, here's our show right now. We got 153 people on this system. There's 172 that show on my screen, but because that we're showing through Shogun Crypto, I also have it showing on, and then it's also showing on Trader Max's YouTube channel as well. So there's a little bit of each in that process, but the real powerhouse is the Shogun Crypto, which you can kind of see here. And if you were to click on that button, if you were watching that live, which a lot of people are doing, they're clicking on that button and it's taking us to the live system, in which we see in here. So just like everybody was telling me in the beginning, it's like, oh, we don't want to do a stream because it won't show up on the live on X. Well, that's not correct. Here it is. It's doing its thing. We're using the algorithm without relying on their tech, right? So, which is awesome. So make sure that if you're in that room, that you're sharing, you're liking, you're following, you're doing everything you possibly can to get this out there. If you are it's Rob again. Hey, buddy. It's good to see you here. If you are here and you're watching the show and you want to do a shill with us, reach us into the chat room in here and say that you want to shill, and we'll try to get you in. We'll send you over either through, I don't know if we could do a private chat. I don't know which one. Yeah, there's Rob in there. But we'll send you out and try to get a hold of you. either in the DMs or what have you, a place to go to get the link to come over and Shill. Eventually, what we're going to do is have on our website a little place that you can go to. You can put in you want to Shill it. You'll fill it in. It'll be for the show time, and it'll send you a link to be there at that process. Okay, so keep that in mind that it's not priority speaking, but it is an invite only at this point. But if you do want to come up and talk, please just reach out to us there. You have our X accounts. I will get you a link to the page on the system. We'll even pin a post up to it here next time we do a show, which will be next Tuesday. But today we're focusing on our buddy Addison over from Pepsard. We got Crypto Quinton here today, and we're just sort of fitting right into the narrative of and what we're going to be talking about in the show position. We talked to Addison about Pepsard, which we love the backstory. There's a lot of great stuff. Make sure that you follow the links. We're going to get that little Shill in there as well and get it worked into the process of getting out there him and his community. Did you have a chance to share it to your community and your network there, Addison?
Yeah, I shared it around.
Cool. Absolutely awesome.
I'll also share it to the Pepsard account.
Yeah. I got to make sure I follow you there on Pepsard. That's the other thing. Get over there and follow everybody in the system in there. If you see comments and click into one of them and get into the comments and give them the hearts, right? Get them the love, do mini raids. If you're here and you're watching, right, you can help us build out our little on-site raid system for our Shill side. And how do we get interaction and how do we get that out there? Because if we're doing it for Pepsar, we could do it for you as well. So if you're watching this and you want to get a part of this process, then this is how you do it. You interact. Always come out with value in your hand rather than wanting value from everybody else. I've been sharing this in more ways than spaces normally, and it's amazing we can all interact like this. Loving it. Great job on the Pepsard. Nice job there, Crypto Memer 77. Now, next in this process, we talked about doing a Shill, doing a chill, and then doing a little alpha. Well, Addison got a chance to talk about his Shill, and he got that Shill process in. I'm going to come out and talk a little bit about chill, which I'm going to involve Addison as well. And we're going to talk about the big three-letter word, the three-letter acronym of CTO, and where we're really going in this world and how stuff happens. Now, CTO, community takeover, right? This is where, when I first heard this term, I'm like, yeah, I've heard of this in the corporate structure, and I don't really like the way it goes in the corporate structure. And it's sort of the same way here. This is where the devs, the people who originally started the coin or community, have now abandoned the process and they're out. And there's all kinds of CTOs. There are ones that when it happens, man, is it punching? And it's like chaos. It is like chaos. I was, my first interaction with a CTO was, oh boy, I think it was a MAGA coin. And I got involved, like I had money in it. And usually CTOs are fired off with the emotion value of, oh, we just got rugged, or I'm at a higher level where I got in and then all of a sudden it's rugged and now it's below me and I got to do something to try to recoup, so they're usually fueled by that recoup. And it's a tough go, I mean, I don't know how many CTOs I've ever worked with that I've been recouped the money that I put in and that time, and I think that's something that's a big question. Is a CTO worth it? And that's the big question. Now, I have somebody who's part of a CTO and is in that network. And so that's a big question to have for him is, Addison, how did you get involved with the CTO? And what is your motivation for, because you're one of the leads here, right? For the CTO?
Yeah, I'm the CTO lead of Pepsard, yeah.
Okay. And so how did you get involved with it? And what is your inspiration to get it going and keep it moving and make it happen?
Yeah.
I put you on the spot here. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, all good. I had like an original story of like my first interaction with a CTO as well. Start in there, and then we can kind of go into that.
Sure.
It was back like last summer, right? first starting to get into Solana coins, and CTOs started to become like a much bigger thing. Like Michi was a CTO, and we saw like a couple other big CTOs, really sending. So the first one I kind of, got involved with was this, it was called Warren Buffett, right? It was like the version of Warren Buffett.
Yeah.
And I got in at like 700K and I ended up sending to like 5 million. What happened was, and it was funny because I was in another project that same dev was in, and what he did, he started to try to FUD it, with the Telegram. They started saying like a bunch of racist stuff, and so they try to FUD the Telegram. They try to shut it down, and they try, what happens is a bunch of people will try to create a new Telegram. You have to CTO the DEX screener and get the CTO tag with the new DEX website, new Twitter, all the new links and stuff. So what happened with that one was they set up the new one, and then there's like over 100 people in the voice chat, and so and then someone ended up like quitting his job on the spot and stuff. So that was like my first interaction with like a CTO, and then I've seen like a bunch of CTOs go on like since last summer. It's kind of like the meta. Like if people don't truly believe it, I don't know, like most of the things like the devs cheat, and like a good CTO team needs to come in and help send it. Like it's probably more often that you see a CTO on Solana than you see a good dev team following through with a project. And most times, like you will also have dev teams purposely like selling and then having the CTO all set up.
Yeah.
For people to step in. So
I want to kind of keep in the direction where I'm really trying to steer this in.
So going back to, how I originally got into PepSard, right, which was your original thing, and my motivation, coming, seeing all of that go on, I've kind of garnered the experience of being around a lot of this stuff, helping out with TGs. And so when it originally launched, I saw it, I actually saw it launch. I watched like live new pairs on Photon, trying to find new plays and stuff. Ended up seeing a bunch of these PepSard, tickers come out, and then realized that Matt Fury had posted. It's funny how sometimes like I realize stuff's going on by a new ticker coming out, or like a bunch of new tickers, like at a public event or whatever. Someone posted on Twitter, like Elon Musk or whatnot. So the dev sells. I get in like right as like the dev sells like really early, around like 9-10K, and then it runs up to like 700K. It was heavily sniped, so then it ran back down, and then day one, I wasn't in the TG and stuff, so then I hopped in, when it kind of ran back down, and there was another guy in there that wanted to CTO it, so we kind of got together. He set up the Twitter. I helped set up like the website and stuff, and the TG, and we got everything. Yeah, sorry. We got everything going. So it took about my motivation is I like the Matt Fury art, me being originally in Pepe. And still in Pepe, and getting my whole family in Pepe and seeing that whole journey, and knowing that, seeing all these other Matt Fury tokens run. This was kind of a new story that, I like as an artist. I like a blank canvas, and something that I could like dig my teeth into. And since 2019, I've never really stepped up to be kind of like a CTO lead. I've always kind of like helped out, like either like helping run the Twitter or running spaces or being a community member or doing different things. But like, stepping up into that role, like there's a little bit that, there's a lot that there's a little bit that that you don't know. And then there's a lot that you don't know that you don't know, unless you like go down the path.
Until you know it. Exactly.
Right. So stepping up into that role, my motivation is, I want to do right by project and learn all these things. And yeah, it does take to do a CTO. One of the factors one of the questions you asked is it worth it? Right. There is a lot of money that you have to put in if you're going to, do marketing or different things. So you do need the capital behind it. If you're trying to bootstrap, like I've been trying to do, like doing it as organically as possible, which, we sent the PepSAR chart without, it was completely, organic and stuff.
Right.
And we just had some people like screw over the yeah, it happens in every project.
Of course it does. I think the best way, because I don't want to go too much into
the plan with the motivation is just to do right by people and build a good successful project and have something that I can funnel resources into and build a community around of good people that can win this cycle, right? And
absolutely,
if I'm building a good foundation for that and knowing that this bull run is coming and we're just at the tip of the iceberg, like having a good community of people surrounding a good project, like knowing how to fight through any challenges that come our way is going to be very powerful this cycle. So my motivation is the people around me and the community. And yeah, I know that if I provide the value, the money will come. And it's just about putting in the hard work and the patience and not giving up. The only way that you can fail is by giving up. Right. So
absolutely. Yeah. So I think the biggest thing for us is when I met Coin, and I was in the original where the coin started first fired, and I bought into like 100,000. It was crazy. It was going up to it went to millions. I think it went to like 6 or 7 million was Latte, and Latte had a whole presence about it. This person was from Dubai. They had a lot of money. It was millions of dollars going in. Like the volume stretch of this thing was so large, it wasn't even funny, but it caused such a deviation in the network. People were buying all the way up. I bought it in 100, and then I bought in at 600,000, and I bought in, it was just we were just DCAing in this large amount of cash. Right. And it didn't happen. I met the coin's owner and I began to talk to them. And I was doing my broadcast system. I was trading and doing that stuff. And I said to them, I would love to do an interview with you because, all this stuff's going up. And he goes, well, I don't invest in you and I'll do all this stuff with you. You give us an interview and we'll invest in you and the Trader Max thing and make all this. And I was like, really loving it. I was all supercharged and excited, like I normally am with everything I do. And we sat down, we started talking, but I spent a very long time in the military as well, and doing interrogations and being able to talk to people and strategizing and doing that stuff. And I was sitting there and I was talking to him during the show. Now it was pre-recorded. I was recording it, so it wasn't like broadcasting live. That would have been really messed up if it would. But I asked him a question. I said, "So, how much of the supply do you physically, as the dev, own?" And he goes, "None. I burned it all." He goes, everything I bought in the middle, I burned. And it did show that he had burned millions of coin in the network when he first started the process. And he goes, I have everything in the marketing wallet, for doing whatever. And I said, great. I said, so you don't have any supply. What's your motivation for doing this? And he goes, I just want to help people. And I fell in love with that concept. I was like, yes, let's go for the people. And we got about 3/4 of the way through the show. And keeping that in mind, I said to him, I said, I'm looking to try to help out as much as possible. Anything that if you said whoever is holding supply, who's ever doing supply, I could really use some help with getting the stuff set up if you want. And I can do that, rock hold it. I was trying to find a way, how can I, get myself paid as well by providing value, but also getting some value from it. And he goes, I'll look into my personal wallet and I'll send you a couple million coin from my personal wallet. And something triggered me.
Right.
I just heard, 5 minutes ago, and it was recorded that he owned no supply. And something didn't riddle with me. And I was
to own supply to run the token. Like,
yes,
if you go higher, right? Like You need supply for
Yes.
exchanges and market makers.
You need a whole bunch of stuff, right?
Right.
And for them not to physically have
And
it
you
in
need
control.
people working for their bags, right? That's
Yeah.
the motivation. Like the big motivation is money at the end of the day. Like that is a big driver
Absolutely.
for a lot of people being here. Like that's when I came to that realization. I came in more for the tech and what this stuff can do. But yeah, like most of the people's motivation is money. Yeah, and I'm not gonna sit here and say I have no supply of Pepsar. Like there's supply being bought up by the Anvil bot, and I have 2% in both the Pepsar.Sol and the Soulheart.Sol wallet. So it's like
awesome.
Like
so, I mean, we started as I started talking to them. I'm sorry, I'm trying to we'll work on the story. We got to work on their timing a little bit. I'm sorry, so we're working on that. But for us, it's when I heard that lie come over, and whatever it was a real lie or not, I made mention to it. I just brought it to his attention, and at 12 midnight that night, he dropped down. He was, I think it was like 4 million, and it was down. It was down to like 100,000, 200,000. It was the biggest fall I've ever seen. I was like, how could he do? I thought he had no supply and blah blah blah. And he came out and said, oh, this is why I did it. So yes, my motivation when I got involved in the very first part, it was stage one. It was like stage one grief in a CTO, and you've probably seen this a few times too, Addison, where you get there, like the CTOs happen, the rug has happened, the leaving, the void has been happened, and all of a sudden, you get what? The first wave of people to come through are like the scoundrels. They're like the crows picking from the teeth of the buffalo.
And then you have the people like scamming, saying, "Hey, if you lost your money, DM me." Like they're trying to scam the people that you got scammed. It's.
I'll trade you coin for coin, and I'll come in and save it. I have some money. You should come to this coin, or we're relaunching over here. And then you got the Telegram scammers.
Fake CTOs that come in and send money to marketing wallet, and then rug the marketing wallet. It's just,
exactly. It's just one big.
I've seen it all. I've seen people come in and spam obscene stuff. Like I'm not even going to say it because they're on live. We can only imagine the stuff that people do to try to lower the price.
Absolutely.
Or get a entry, especially if they see a strong CTO team coming in and trying to help out. And
absolutely,
a lot of callers and stuff. And don't, if you're running a TG, unless you're it's through a reliable source, do not be answering any of the callers or people trying to DM you for stuff. 99%.
Big advice. That's big advice.
Scammed. Because they're going to be there trying to ask you to help out and call your coin. And I have this Telegram. It's probably mostly bots, and they're probably not even going to post it. For the most part, if they see you down bad and stuff. So, I've had to touch the fire to learn some of these things. So, if other people
touch the fire, I've had to get engulfed in the fire. Jump in and rip all the clothes off to go naked.
Exactly. And that's the thing in this space, and in anything, you learn from other people's failures, so you don't have to make the same mistakes. And getting around good people and learning the knowledge so that when you're trying to do the same stuff, if you want to pursue the same path, you're able to achieve that goal quicker by avoiding the pitfalls of what other people's mistakes, right?
Yeah, we find out too that there is with every new way to do something good, there's 7 ways to do it bad, and people take advantage of that. And so what you have to do is first, there's some good standards, right? Do your own research, trust but verify. All these great things in the system. So in the CTO world, in this chill part, there has been, and I've watched lots of different CTOs, and I think the first one is that batch of people that come into the scammers, the shammers, the rip-off artists, all that stuff. And then you get some people that maybe, once the cycle clears, I always tell people, with that latte one, and this is where I met Rip from and a few other things. I was in there, I had money in there, and I was a voice of reason. I was trying to calm people down. Don't knee jerk. Don't make a new Telegram yet. Don't go anywhere into anything. Don't pay anybody money. I'm warning the world, right? I was doxxed on the Trader Max YouTube channel, on my Twitter I was, and somebody said, we need somebody to trust. Who do we trust? Where are we going to put all this money? I got 6 SOL, I got 4 SOL, I got 5 SOL, all these people, where do we put all this money? What wallet do we use? And there's 6 or 7 people, and Rip was there during the night with this because he had money into it as well. And they said, let's give it to Trader Max. And I said, oh, wait, I don't want to be the dude. I'm sorry. I don't want you to have all, because at this point, I wasn't looking to run a coin. I was an investor. I was an investor and an entertainer, and I had services I wanted to provide. I didn't want to get involved with a coin direct.
That's how I always looped
you know,
in. They're like, let's, Addison's trustworthy, so let's do all.
Let's give it to them, right?
When you end up in that position, you end up being the one responsible and like having to like pay for most of the stuff, and it's unless you're like serious about the CTO, like it. Most times, like I just stay in the back. I don't want to participate in the CTO because I don't want to get looped into something that But yeah, they usually try to find someone that's trustworthy. Like that's why they picked yourself, right? And
yeah, that's exactly right.
And you need someone, and you need someone to protect the project. So
all right, we're here. We're here on the Shogun Gun Show. There's 273 people watching this show right now, straight out of the gate. We got some great people in the chat room. If you're watching right now, make sure that we're in the chill portion of the first part of the show. For each hour, we do a chill, and then an alpha. I see Savage One with a great comment. Thank you so much. Some great alpha in here as well. It's coming, I promise. There's going to be such great alpha for today for Shogun. I don't know about PepSar, but I know about some other people that are out there. If you're watching the show right now and you want to be a part of the show, you want to come in and say hello, we can reach out to you, put your hand up in the room in there, tell us that you want to be. We'll try to get Mr. Quinton to reach to you through your Twitter and send you a special link to join in. Make sure that you got a decent mic with no background noise. Speaking of background noise, I got one thing I got to ask you there, Addison. During the last little chill part of it, I heard this noise behind you. Now, it was either one, and this is what I want everybody to listen to that noise that was back there. Was it someone blowing their nose ferociously, or was it somebody who was in with a drywall drill pushing in drywall into a metal stud or something?
I think it was someone coughing.
Okay. Because my old ears, man, I swear to God, I got 20/10 vision now, but I got bad ears. I could have sworn it sounded like somebody either sneezing or coughing or doing something. It's pretty wild. All right.
Yeah, my bad.
It's all good. It's all good. It's we have some people that come in and chill, and there's like all kinds of stuff.
He was blowing his nose.
That was amazing. But yeah, tell that person he's got a pretty heavy hunker there to be able to blow that hard. All right. So if you're here and you want to come on board, make sure that you reach out. Also check out PepSard from our panelists and friend here from Addison. There are some links that are in some of the chat rooms in there. If you're any one of the chat rooms, you don't see it, do us a solid. If you're part of us, make sure that you got the PepSard channel over there and links to what they're doing. So this has been the chill side of it. We've been talking about CTOs and our motivations behind them sometimes are more greedy and more about ego than anything else. I don't think I've ever met somebody who went, oh, look, a CTO. I love CTOs. They're so friendly. Let's go. Right. But it becomes that for somebody, it becomes part of your life. And now that you have PepSard in that process, and you know what, you have, I thought we had a lot of movements. You gave me access to something called the A Team. And I'm showing it I'll show it on the screen here, which is pretty wild, right? I'm just going to, share screen.
Those things are still like being worked on. They'll keep a little.
That's okay. I'm going to show the girth of it rather than the worth of it. I'm just going to show it real quick. This is a lot of stuff in here, but the coolest thing ever. This man, when I first met him, he's like, "Let me give you access," and he gave me our own access in here. This dude is amazing. This is why I asked him to come on the show today. Because it was just so much that he gave me an actual offer to. And I've had such response from that system in there, which is actually wonderful. Thank you very much for doing that. I really do appreciate it.
Of course. There's always, as you're growing and learning, there's always like, videos that you're posting and stuff. And, there's builders and devs and different things different people in my community. So
yeah.
If we're using this and other people can get value out of it, like that's amazing. And I know we're working closely together. You've been helping out with setting up the AmblBot for the LIB project, and then we moved over to the PepSard project, which is our main project. And I like how you work and how you we were communicating, and so yeah, if there's anything you want to post in there and then share around, yeah, feel free. And then if there's stuff that I can like share around on my Twitter and stuff, I'll do that as well. And then we can work together and build up together. That's the whole point of, building a team and having people that you can collaborate and build together with.
Absolutely. There's so much that we have to offer in this world. We have been building out a network that is stronger than anything I've ever seen before. And that's not just the hopeful, wishful thinkings of a coin owner or a community owner. It is really about the level of listening that happened prior to getting into this space that I had to do to coins. And I'm always hearing the same thing over and over again. This one shilled me. This one killed me. This one stole from me. This one rugged me. We wanted to come up with tools. So in this shill side of it, we're talking about CTOs. And CTOs, we just hit 300 people to the Shogun Gun Show. Let's get that. Yeah, I know. I need better sound effects, damn it. Because we're getting out there. We're kicking ass and taking names here on the Shogun Gun Show here on Saturday, January 11, 2025. It's fucking 2025 already, bitches. And there's just so much stuff to cover. We have a lot of stuff going over. The algorithm is working like nobody's business. Thank you so much. I hope PepStar gets a lot of new people come to it. I hope we are getting some new people into the network. Because remember, everything that we do here, we do as a community with Shogun. You'll see some PvPs in the chat room. Make sure that anybody that you see with an orange headband, attach to them, follow them, get them in board in that process. Now, if you're watching and you want to be a part of the conversation about CTOs, simply message us in the network and we'll get you on board. In shows to come for these chill sections, we're going to have multiple panelists where we're going to come in and talk about these things. Today is all about CTOs. And in CTOs, there's always this leadership, who's going to be leader and process. So just quickly, Mr. Addison, if we can, in a network of people that you have communicated with so far, you have your rising stars, you got your constant fudders, you got your, you don't really know where they're coming from kind of people, really kind of what maybe could be scammy or weird. And then you always get a couple of those dark people. When I say dark people, I'm talking like the real heavy scammers that you don't know that they're scammers until they come out. In your world of your community right now for PepStar, what do you feel is the balance there? You feel you got a little bit of everything, or is it really white knighting it, or where do you feel your community sits?
Yeah, so we have a really good core team, and obviously because as you see the chart, we went up and went down. As you see in any project, you see an influx of people and you see an outflow of people. It's all about attention economy, right? So right now, as we see more of the flush out, we see more of the core people that are willing to step up and help out, and put resources in. That starts to slim out as when you're sitting at such a low market cap. But the people that stay are the people that are dedicated, right? So the core person that I CTO'd with is still around helping out, and we have a great rating team in there, and a bunch of other people that I've kind of built up a team around me. And this is one project, and I've kind of taken it on as the CTO lead as more of a personal art project. I want something I want to do with this project. Tricking out a little alpha is I want to create a fake rare card, and get that published, and working on a play to earn game, so potentially bridging this through Wormhole to Ethereum.
Remember the rule of alpha, right? Yeah. You got to be physically working on this. It has to actually be something. Yeah. Okay. So it's already I already got the game format figured out, and it's all written down, and it's in a place, and that's alpha.
There's some things being worked on, and there's potentials to use certain technologies to build upon the project. But in terms of the team and the community, there's the core people, and then as this thing starts, the chart is always the best marketing. So as this thing builds up, there's a bunch of people that are aware of this project, and you'll start to see that influx come back as you start to build that chart back up. And
Well, you'll see that, but and
with
again, that's a great sentiment to have. I'm sorry, I'm going to interrupt you there.
yeah, go ahead.
The influx of people coming in does affect the chart, but what they do when they're there, because you'll get the sitters and shitters that'll just sit there and not do anything while they're waiting for the big payday or the big move or what have you. And I think CTOs do get a bad rap. I wish I could just like give somebody an unraveling CTO care package, be like, here's how you get the website, here's how you do this, this is where you go, because they spend so much time heading into trying to figure out what to do that they forget to do something along the way. And everybody's sort of running off. Oh, we need this. When is this? When is that? So what I was trying to get at by my original question to you is like, is your community super positive? Is it a little mix of everything? Where do you see it at? In just a few sentences, where do you think your community's boiled up? Is it more positive? Is it more like down the road, or is it
so? I
down
mean,
the center?
It's 50-50. I mean, because we obviously, when anytime a chart goes down, you have people upset that the chart went down and they lose money. I mean, it's meme coins, it's high risk. There's obviously people that find the Telegram and come in and try to post scam links that we obviously delete and ban instantly. But then, like I said, we have our core group of people that understand the mission of building something brick by brick and being patient and focusing on the admin and building the foundation so that when people come and stumble upon the project, they have a rabbit hole to fall down and a good community and people to interact with and different features of the project. Maybe like there's spaces to go to or different things, or being posted on content being posted on different platforms to engage with, or different community events or whatnot. So that people come in, engage, and stay engaged, right? And you start to build that commitment and build up that community. So for anyone that's like building like a CTO, and that's like discouraged by the chart and the chart is down, like I've seen so many charts like go basically to zero and then get CTO'd and send ridiculously. If you do right by the project and you set up the good foundation and you build the community, there's really nothing you can't do as long as you're following the steps, not getting scammed by people and like paying for the right things. Like you're getting the dexes updated. You're paying for CoinMarketCap, CoinGecko, like paying for these things, or like different like dex ads or boosts and trending, and you're paying for the things that are guaranteed going to get you visibility than just say like paying 3 SOL to a caller that may or may not post your thing, and then you're getting right, so,
well, there's pitfalls in it all. Like everything that we do
always.
In our real world, there's always pitfalls. And the biggest advice is, because I want to end up in the top of the hour. I mean, we just hit 327 people here on the Shogun Gun Show. We're talking about in our chill portion of the show of the hour. We're talking about CTOs and the level of communications and things that we do in them, our histories of CTOs and all that kind of stuff. Back in the day with Latte, I latched on to somebody who was very powerful. He was doing a lot of the work. I gave him crypto. I gave him our WebForge network, which is Panther Pilot. He made the website. He got into it. He's like all on. And then he was just running up against other people. Like there was all these forces back and forth. There was a magnetism, but then there was like a decentralized process that just fell apart. And there was no real communications of reality with them. So eventually it did fall. But I hear it back in. Now, the thing about CTOs is that they can look dead as like Frankenstein's monster, and then all of a sudden they're moving around again. So these things do happen. I appreciate your putting your 27 cents in for what CTOs are to you and what you've done. Thank you so much.
One chart that I would like people to look at, and it wasn't necessarily a CTO, but something like look at the Bobo chart. Like that chart sat at 1 million or under 1 million for months. Right. And then the time came, the right people got behind it, and it sent to over 100 million. I think it topped out 150 to 200 million or something like that. So, but yeah, look at a lot of the charts that were here, like through the bear market. Study like the MOG chart, study the Pepe chart. Like it's sat at 200 to 400 million for almost a year, and then it sent to 11 billion. So, if you have strong communities, look at these strong communities, study these strong communities, and how they work, and build organic, attention economy through the memes, and having fun with it. And we running spaces, like when I was running spaces for Pepe, like just making it fun, playing music and joking around and keeping people engaged. And because when people are holding their bags, they want to have fun, learn, grow, and have something to distract them from the chart a little bit, right? So instead of just like chart watching and then a dip and then getting flooded out of their bags.
Absolutely. Well, this part of the show is brought to you with Shill in mind, to be about education. The Shill portion for us is always talking about the things we've learned from. One of the things that I want to end this top of the hour with, right? Like every hour, I want to kind of go a little Shill, little chill, little alpha. And I try to keep it very quick and decisive in there. In this particular portion, I'm going to talk about our alpha that's about to come out, which we're already fired into. Remember, the rule of alpha is always about what you're building right now that hasn't been fully fleshed out, right? One of the rules is like if you're building a program or you're building something for alpha, the level of alpha is usually it's on a development machine or a test net or a dev net or something to that effect. These one project that I'm going to tell you about is something that's near and dear to us, but in the alpha, it doesn't have to be all fleshed out, right? It doesn't have to be all perfect. Not everything needs to work and all that kind of stuff. And it's not even really released out to the public. So when you hear me talk about alpha, this is not a conceptual dream that I'm building, that one day I want to build out a giant jacuzzi that massages my feet, right? I'm actually physically building and working with, not just me, but our team is working with this process. Now, before I slide it over to the screen share system, keep in mind that there is still a lot to build and learn in that network. And as this stuff comes out, it's not a guarantee of success, but it is so powerful for us that I really love the whole solution here. Now, we've always talked about Dex Screener, and Dex Screener is what we call a market analytics network, which means like you can go see the coins, all their stuff and what they do. We wanted to make our own market analytics system that provides profiles, has a swap system, and be able to give communities the power back to them, which means that they get this opportunity to make money off of the fees from the swap, but also have a profile that they can control without having to pay an arm and a leg, right? Like it's $2.99 for just to get your website up. And if not, you look like a bare bones piece of shit coin that fires off because it goes right to Dex on all of it. But we wanted GB to give you this opportunity to be able to showcase your coin there. I'm going to slide this over. You're going to be able to have a look at it here. And what I want you to remember that I'm sorry, I keep flipping this all over the place. There we go. That this is just stage one of alpha, right? And what makes us even better is that we have an opportunity. And again, this is called Shogunix. And Shogunix is a Shogun exchange. It's not really an exchange yet, right? But it's exchange of information. It is a market analytics network, right? And in here, you're able to put your pair address, your base token, of course, and all that information is readily available. If you are the builder of this, there's a verification system, and then you'll be able to list your token, and then you'll be able to see, all the great stuff. You'll have a little profile. There'll be a chat room. There'll be all these great things that'll be with this process. So Shogunix is really about the people, about the community, about the network. This is very important. If you're just tuned in, 358 people watching the show here on Shogun Gun Show on Saturday, the 11th of January, 2025. And we're in our alpha portion of the last hour where I'm talking about Shogunix. Shogunix is also a process that for us as a community, 25% of all fees made from this network goes back into our coin, into something called the buyback and back. That's more like a buyback and stake kind of mentality, but we back it up with our own Solana from the network, and we buy the coin, and then we pair it with liquidity with souls, because you always have to add soul to your native token to add liquidity to your farm. And so we add that, and we put it to the farm, and we then add the liquidity. Our liquidity value builds up. And as you know, liquidity, the higher it is, the more stable your coin is. So As this happens, we'll be buying back into the coin. And so this is going to increase our value on the coin as well, which is a very powerful way to do things. And I would suggest that any coin that's watching, if you want to know more about this, please reach out to us and we'll teach just about anybody how to do this stuff as well. We don't feel like we ever have competition in the world because we are who we are and you are who you are. So with that, this Shogun X, we're still in alpha. We're looking to come into beta before the end of next week. And we have a lot of great stuff for this. This means now this isn't just going to go and analyze every single coin known to man. You got to come here and you got to join us. We have to talk to you. You were going to audit. We're going to look at your background, your level with this and what you want to have, because we want to join forces with those and show this like a profile system that you're covered by Shogun. Right? Like we're going to help you. You're going to be in these shows. You'll have an opportunity to have your own system. We'll help you with alpha. We'll help you build out. We have already, design teams and program stuff and, rating systems and all that. Our Anvil bot or Tsunami bot, all this stuff will be readily available for you when you join this network in here and you match those numbers up. So, this is super huge. In the next top of the hour, I'm going to give you a little bit of a punch here, which is our Launchpad system that's firing off just about the same time that Shogun X is firing off. Launchpad.ShogunX is firing off as well. And this you want to stick around for this one because this is a pretty damn good alpha release that we'll be talking about. All right. So we've sort of gotten to that point now of the show that we have talked with Mr. Addison from PepsArt. We have Mr. Quinton has been back feverishly making sure that everything is working in the back. But buddy, how you doing back there, man? How you feeling about the show so far?
I'm loving it. I really enjoy how the conversations are going. I enjoy all the interaction we're getting over in the chat room. If you're in here, give us some love. Keep on talking. Keep on showing your opinions. That's what makes this one of the big differences from space. But other than that, I'm having a great time. How about you, sir?
I'm doing wonderful. We just had an all-time high, 370 people watching the show. We hit 350 the other day. We hit 375. Give us some love in the chat. If you're watching, just throw some emojis, whatever chat system you're using, whether it's X or if it's whatever, give us some chat emojis in there. Do some pump ups, whatever you got, throw them in there. I'm going to show up on the show. That's from earlier, but there you go.
350 people, but only 13 retweets. Make sure to hit that like and retweet, guys.
Yes, absolutely. Big push there. Thanks, Mr. Addison. You also have an opportunity to share this amongst your communities. If you're watching and you have a coin community, get them in here, get them watching, get them a part of the process. There's a lot of information we're going to be sharing over the next couple of hours, about another hour's worth of time. If we got the numbers, listen, I'm going to give you some goals. Get this thing shared out there, get it to 400 people, which is awesome. We're at 375 already, and we're looking to pump up to even further to get this information all out there for you in this network, in this industry, and start things happening. Boy, the Shill. Now, we've talked about PepsArt in the system. Talking about Shogun in this next top of the hour is all about, I think when I first started this network, it was all about trying to find a way to create utility. We didn't start out as a coin. We started out as a utility. We had crypto Web4. We had our Web4 with Panther Pilot. We had all these great tools. But it's not about me today in the grand scheme of things. For me to shill out there in the network, there are some people, like I've met some incredible, humble, intelligent people. And I wanted to I wish I can come in and interview in these times, right? Like we should have chill alpha and interviews, right? In that mentality. But I just highlighted one here. His name is Duff. And Duff is one of our top 5 in our network. And Duff has just been doing such a great job of being a part of our network. And some of the classic things you see, like the banners, and his design eye is like incredible. It blows me out through the roof. He owns a big company. He has like all this stuff. His brother B is just as in charging as he is. And there's this whole talent stuff. The Shill for me isn't about the Dow of Shogun and that network, but it is about the camaraderie that I've made, being able to trust people in this network. You're not always going to have, you pull people close to you and they can hurt you, but I've never felt like I was always worried about my one partner. that was going to leave, and I think Mr. Addison made reference to him. But the people that I have here now, like Rip and Duff and B, and there's so many people, Savage, John that's out there, George, there's so many people that you see in the chat here that are, if you see them in your chat and they got a PFP and looks like an animal with a headband in it, that's us, right? That's our PFP. They're trusted people. They're people that work hard and get out there. As a shill for Shogun, it's not about the level of how much we're making right now, but it's how we're changing, not just us internally, but also the network of people that we have brought in and what we're doing. Education post on Reddit. It's about, let me see if I can hide this up here. Dog just said, I've just dropped a little educational post on Reddit. It's about market order flow. Great beginner read for those who aren't familiar with technicals. And there is the link there. If you are in the chat room with Dog, make sure you check that out. We're going to put that into our show network too. Make sure that everybody gets that as well. Dog is such a beautiful content provider in our network, and just taking on that love of Reddit and everything that we do there. All right. So I guess what I wanted, we didn't get a chance to have anybody else come up to do a shill, but I did want to talk about in Mr. Addison has his network there with PepStart. What do you feel is the next step for you to, like, the big thing is getting the chart moving, right? What do you have in line? What do you have up next for, and I'm not talking about just dreamer stuff like, oh, okay, I want to make a new brand name of drug or something.
No, yeah.
What do you see yourself doing next, like immediately, like this week, that can really push this thing that we can help you get to that level with?
Well, so what we have is we have like over 150 to 200 memes and videos and stuff, and what we have is all the PepStart socials. Other than X, we've only really pushed on X, and that's kind of, I see CT as kind of like the innovator group if you're thinking about like an adoption curve, right?
Uh-huh.
It's like those are the people that are going to test out your stuff, validate it. So we tested it out with people. We send it to 250K, but we have all these memes. We did this meme contest, and so we have all the socials, so really pumping out content on all these other platforms. Like we have literally everything: YouTube, Instagram, Twitch, TikTok. And so that's something immediately that we can start pumping out and getting more eyes and more engagement onto the token beyond just, most people when they're launching a token, like their focus is on X and they have their 2G and their website, right? Those are the three main links that you have on most DEXs. And I'm going to be updating this website with the actual links. We have if you go into our TG, and we have everything like filtered and stuff. If you type links, you'll find like our link tree to everything.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool.
And and so that's something immediately, like this week, we have the content, we have the socials. It's getting people lined up and having people posting consistently. You have on those platforms, you have to get into the algorithm and just engaging people. So that's one thing, getting more content out, and that's within any meme coin, right? We're in an attention economy. So the more
what do you type in to get your link tree in your CTO?
I think here, let me see. Oops, sorry. I think you type link.
Or just link or / link?
Oh, it's in the actual here. Oh, you're typing it in there.
Sorry, no worries. If you want to put it into the network,
put it in there. You should see now.
In private chat.
Oh,
okay, there.
Yeah, I put it
Either way, we're learning. Oh, I see it. I got you. Here we go.
Put it in there for you.
Yeah, there you go.
And so, when we're talking about meme coins, right? what? Let's talk about like why Pepe did so well. Is that it's the number one meme on the internet. There's more memes of Pepe on the
Oop.
internet than all.
One second. I'm sorry. I got to do this because it is a momentous occasion. We
Yeah.
just hit 400
Oh,
watchers,
let's go.
viewers of the show. 400. You're watching here on the Shogun Gun Show here on January 11th. We're in our Shill portion. We're with Mr. Addison from Pepzart, and if you're watching right now, that means that you just joined in at the 402 now. Absolutely wonderful. We're just climbing higher and higher. Thanks to great content, great providers, great people. I wish I could give you something even more. If you want to be a part of the show, we have another hour or so. We'll stay around even longer. If you want to show, reach out to us in any one of the formats in there on the chat and say that you want to be a part. You want to come in and chill, and Mr. Quinton will reach out to you and get you a link to come in, and you can probably grab us either in our chill, our alpha release part of the show. All right. Sorry about that, Mr. Addison. Keep going.
Oh, you're good. Yeah. Welcome everyone. Make sure to that like and retweet button, and check out Pepstar. Check out Shogun. Make sure to follow Trader Max and Shogun. Do all the good things. Comment to comment. 75x. One of the alphas that we learned also with the rating is like a comment to a comment is a 75x boost on Twitter. So Twitter really likes like engagement. So go through the comments and engage with other people.
It's a great piece of advice in there. You know what you say in the raid and what you say to the. There's so many little things. The days of LFG and to the moon are done. Emojis done.
Yeah. So looping it back in with like the attention economy, right? It's like with rating and stuff, engaging, doing those reply to replies, posting, not just, posting. I think it really promotes stuff that's 5 words or more, I think. And then, having good memes and making it engaging in it. And, if you're rating someone, maybe making a meme that's specific to that person that they're going to be more willing to engage with and get more exposure on that raid. So it's all about attention economy. Like, what I was saying with Pepe, there's more memes of Pepe than there are of all the other memes combined. So it's all about getting into like the zeitgeist of people like recognizing it, and with like any meme, making it go viral. So utilizing the tools that are at our disposal, like all the social media platforms and ways to get people aware of your meme and have fun with it, right? Is especially in this meme coin space, the more fun and the people really invest in stuff if it's like there's like the cuteness factor, there's like the funny factor, and there's a few other things. But if you're having fun and you have a fun engaged community and people want to like have fun with the memes and post and bull post and chill around like organically, like that's really the things that you're trying to accomplish when you're building a community and you're trying to like get content out there. If you're thinking about like immediate steps, right? Those are some things that you can take immediately. Is go have fun, go take your meme, go make some memes, go post it around. Like when Pepe, the first like 19 days of Pepe, we had millions of posts of Pepe because there's so much content and so many Pepe memes. And then everyone started creating new Pepe memes, new Pepe songs, new things, and really engage your creator community, and creating events and doing like things like meme contests. And hosting spaces and giveaways and different things to keep people engaged and having fun and holding on to that attention.
I just shorted myself. I my chairs. I went like I became a 3-year-old in my chair. You know what? And that's great advice. I really do appreciate it, Addison, because there's a lot of experience that Addison has in this network and getting out there. We have so many people right now watching. 429 list space. I went over to our main YouTube channel or main channel for Shogun Crypto, and just kicking ass over there with so many people watching the program right in there as well. 432, but we've had over And right now, so we're in this process here on Shogun Crypto, firing off on the live system here. But on the space itself, there is a, let me go over and show, I'm going to go into here, and you're going to see that when I go into the actual Shill here, you'll see it's 572 views. That means that right now there's a continuous flow. There's 435 people watching at this moment, but over 500 people have come through, either have liked or shared or said and seen some stuff and is like, all right, I'm going to go find something else, or ooh, squirrel, and then off they go. But 572 something people in the views just on Shogun Crypto. Over on Trader Max, a little bit less, but still in the love of everything, I'm not as important as the main system here. So, only 22 plus views, and there's 11 people watching through this system, which is absolutely cool, right? Because you can see that value in every single one of these little social medias. That's 11 people that's watching through my Trader Max mentality, which is awesome, right? We also have the capability of looking through that through our network here. 12 people with the Trader Max, 422 through the main X. YouTube's still kind of not taking off yet, so we got to find what that algorithm is for YouTube. Getting into that.
332 views on my post on mine, and I haven't checked my other ones, but that's my main account.
So you have your main account, right?
My main account, my Mr. Pepe Worldwide account, has about almost 9K followers, and then the PepSart account. Let's see.
If next time, if we get an opportunity to do this again, I would like to have you come back. You can,
I'm down to come back.
Whatever Twitter account you have that has,
I have a couple of Hulk's account too, but yeah,
that has you have access to, that you have like a blue check mark to, or any of that process. That's the real big thing is, we can actually broadcast the show through that. Like you can get your own little live section in there that'll be happening.
Yeah, my Mr. Pepe Worldwide is verified, and also PepSart is also verified.
Cool. So there is this part of our process here. Now we've been in, we did a little show. We talked about what you got coming. We talked about, or for the alpha, but we talked about the show, the what within the coin, what you're doing. The chill part here is like back to the world of the CTO mentality is about creating culture, but also creating communication. And because I think a lot of people, when they first get into a CTO, they think, all right, these guys don't know what they're doing, I'm going to go in and take over. And how do you handle communication now? Is it all through Telegram, or do you have other ways to communicate?
Yeah, mostly through Telegram and like Telegram voice chats. I do communicate with some people like individually, and I do have like a group chat for like based MFers on Twitter, on X. But it's primarily what I have found. That Telegram has been the best like working solution. I know in the past I've used Discord and stuff, but I feel like this site, like that was like more like last cycle with like NFT projects. Like more of this cycle is like Twitter and Telegram. So
is the days of Discord at a done? Does nobody use Discord anymore in the network? Or
I have not been in a Discord or seen a Discord, especially for like these meme like CTOs. If we're talking about like meme coins specifically.
Right.
At all. It's mostly Telegram, if not all Telegrams. And there's some projects that might set up a Discord, but the days of like hopping into a Discord and grinding for like NFTs and stuff, that seems to be not as prevalent as it was. That might come back, but it's just not the meta with like meme coins, because most people, the mental model is a Telegram and having to get like Telegram with a buy bot and safeguard set up and stuff, and
right.
And that's what people are looking for on the deck. And looking at what people also look at is how many people are in the voice chat, how many people are there active, like up and out, and like all that kind of stuff. So
yeah. So there is I'm trying to get back over to the main screen here. in this portion of the show, as we talk about the Shill, 446 people watching here, over 700 views through all the network. We just added them up. Over 700 views in an hour and a half show. We're outdoing and outperforming. You take the last 10 shows we've done, and it's just been amazing because I feel that this is not just a new way to do stuff. The algorithm supports this value so much more than it does its own space system, because I think that's been utilized in a box so much that it hasn't really had a chance. Sure, buddy. You know, you want to bring in heads, you got X trip. Yeah. Don't ask, just do. You got it, my man. We're going to bring in, because we got Mr. Addison up here in our part here. Send him the code and get him in board, and we'll come in and have another part of the chill here in a second. We'll probably revert back to a quick shill and chill. Because we did a big hedge yesterday, or big hedge, a big chill with them yesterday. We'll come in and try to get their viewpoints on what hedge is, and who hedge. We already kind of know some of what hedge is already, but maybe some people who are watching today want to know more in that process, and maybe they can bring in some stuff to the light. But in this shill portion, talking about CTOs and communication, one of the things, and because we're not a CTO, of course, God forbid that it ever becomes that, because it never will. I'll have to be. Maybe it's a CTO that my son, maybe it's an STO, son take over. Who knows at that point. But I think communication is a very big reason why some of these
CTO.
What's that?
Child takeover.
There you go. Thank you. I appreciate it. Child takeover. My children's will take wait, no. I'm locking the door now. He's right in the other office or on the other side of the house. So go figure. I think that there's such a value in learning how to speak, not just communicate, have the ways to communicate, but how you speak as well. And where is the compassion? Where is the empathy? Where is the love for what you're building? When you're real, when you're not just, everybody do what I say, and, I already know it all. And you have this sort of humility about you too. That's a big thing as well. Check DM for where? Quentin, just come out and talk, buddy.
For Twitter.
What am I missing?
Well, not user. That's for Trip. So I sent the link to him. I sent him some instructions to get it inside of his Twitter DM.
Okay, perfect. Sorry. Let's see if we can get him in his Twitter DM there and get him in the process. We'll have a better way. You'll be able to go to a link and be able to click in and then get that link. We got to find a temporary for now. So share. Get it out there. That's right, Crypto Memer 77. It's all because of you, prick, that I got into this damn industry and made all this great shit. Now I gotta do all this other kind of stuff, and you little bastard, you Crypto Memer 77, and all your BS. What? My face is up behind the Shogun. I can't see underneath there now. We got to figure out a different thing. Like, do that. At the same time, we got Mr. Trip here. X Trip V. Can you hear us, buddy? How's your mic working?
Mic check. Can you hear me?
Mic check. Yeah, buddy. Trip.
Awesome.
What do we call you? What do we call you?
What's going on? You call me Trip.
Trip, buddy. How you doing, my man?
Fantastic.
It's good to have you on.
Loving the show. Thank you very much for having me.
No worries. You are. We spoke to Rob yesterday to great length. You're on the Shogun Gun Show right now with about 464 people watching. Over 900 views now throughout the entire network in this hour and a half. We have a segmented show with a Shill, a Chill, and an Alpha. We were in the chill portion of CTOs, and you're not a CTO, so there's not a lot of background here. But why don't you take because you got a unique perspective of who you are. Tell us who you are to the coin, because yesterday was a holder. What is your level of participation for what hedge is?
So first off, I'm just another excited bag holder who's trying to work for his bags.
Yeah.
Headstrong in the community, loving every bit of it. Community is super active. I believe you spoke with Rob the other day. Rob and I were just one of many, and the awesome and exciting, super active community over in the Telegram and different spaces such as TikTok as well. A little bit about Hedge. So launched in early 2024, about 9 months ago. Hedge rapidly gained popularity within the world of crypto as one of the most innovative and entertaining meme coins available. What distinguishes Hedge from numerous other tokens is its captivating story. a humorous and creative narrative that has won the affection of meme coin enthusiasts globally. With each market cap milestone, a new chapter of Hedge's story is unveiled, making Hedge the first meme coin driven by a funny and engaging narrative. Hedge's ultimate goal is to reach a 1 billion market cap, but this will only mark the beginning of an exciting and cosmic adventure. Currently, Hedge has 2 million in its liquidity pool, and it's growing every second. With almost 25,000 holders, it's almost impossible to lose your second mortgage to a 13-year-old rugged.
Sorry. I know you're prompting, and that's okay. And I appreciate you, my friend. I really do. Yeah, I really do appreciate it. Thank you very much. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Of course. Hey, so Hedge exploded from a 6 million to a 50 million market cap in under 30 days.
Jeez.
The real power of Hedge is within its outstanding community and committed team, who have consistently demonstrated their ability to achieve results. Well, how has the team achieved outstanding results? The team at Hedge launched Hedgens NFTs in September of 2024, and those NFTs sold out in 90 minutes. Hedgens are uniquely generated on the Solana network to a limited quantity of 2,222. Once you adopt a drawn by hand unique Hedgen, you will be rewarded dividends just for owning your seriously kick-ass NFT each month. A small fee from each mint, sale, and trade of the NFTs goes into the marketing wallet, allowing Hedge to expand and reach further audiences. The floor price of Hedge's NFTs have almost doubled in the last 15 days alone. Through unrelenting resolve and electrifying drive from the Hedge community, Hedge has raised an astonishing $400,000 in marketing funds. Whether it's giveaways, raids, or marketing, the community of Hedge is consistently in competition with one another, all striving to become more creative, more intuitive, and more vigorous as a team than ever before. Trader Max, because of what I've shared with you today, I resolutely believe that Hedge has the turbos whirring, the finger on the trigger, the aviators on, and the signals a go to be the top meme coin in this 2025 super cycle. I'm going to post a comment down below with a helpful link so you can learn more about Hedge. Thank you very much for your time.
My man, that was inspiring. I really do appreciate it. It was fun. It was entertaining. We're going to clip that entire thing, even with my little interrupting laughing in there. I do apologize, but it's fun. The coin hedge, from everything that I've seen, is so well professionally done. It's such a great concept. Has a great story to it, and you are a coin's coin, and I appreciate everything you guys have done and been in here, from meeting Rob, from his perspective, from hearing this, what has been written out for you and what you've just spelled out, for yourself, to be able to come in and keep focused, keep driven, keep us entertained in that. So great job. Hats off to you. I got a lot of props for you. Thank you so much for doing that and being here today. Thank you very much. Will you stick around with us for a little bit as we venture in, so we can hear a little bit more about who Trip is? I know that you have some experience with Hedge and that mentality, which we really appreciate. I kind of want to talk to you as well as we get through the next part of this stage of the show.
Yep. Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Perfect. All right. So at this time here, about halfway, we have I'd say another half an hour to go, but this is the hour. I mean, if we happen to hit 500 people, I'm getting a thumbs up to go for another hour. Mr. Quinton better go put on a diaper or something, or go pee or something now. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. But there is a process here to the Shogun Gun Show. This is only our second show. We started yesterday here with this format that we're doing right now by accident. We wanted to come in and test to make sure that the system was going to work. And we attached the two social media systems to it. And within an hour, we had over 200-300 people. Right now, we're at the all-time high. We're over 469, kicking ass, taking names, having fun. We haven't even gotten all the things worked out yet on that process. As you can kind of see, you can check them out over on their X there. You got Trip status there as well inside that format. I think that's over from the Crypto Shogun little chat room there. Make sure you go in and click on that status and get on board and watching them grow. that whole story platform of releasing and doing all that stuff is amazing too. I love that. The Shogun Network is a powerful program that we feel, as we're committing to having a citywide process where you can go in and you develop relationships with vendors and merchants and services and utilities. We also have a game network that we're firing that we've already started building. Remember, the access of alpha. Remember, if you're sharing alpha with me today, that all alpha has to be actually physically in development on a test net or something flesh, right? The alpha can be, it's just brand new though, so it's not something that is a concept, a thought, a dream, a wish, a pipe dream, whatever it is. It has to be something real on that process. And I gave you guys a promise that if in the next series for the alpha for us is a little bit of taste what you've seen earlier of the launch pad. But before I go, and try to do that, just real quickly, Trip, is there anything in alpha that you guys got coming out that you know of that you could share with us, or we could save that for next time?
I think that'd be a fantastic topic to cover for your next show.
Oh, I can't wait. And if you come out like you did to this one, man, you got my thumbs up to come here anytime and show it out to all the great people that are watching 474 here on the Shogun Gun Show in the alpha portion of this hour. Because last hour we didn't get a lot of time with it, but I want to take a few minutes and then we're going to have end show wrap up and all that kind of stuff. And if we happen to get to 500, if you can share it out there amongst the people as a group to everybody here, we're going to share some great stuff with all of those coins that are going to be out there. Get us to 500 and we got some great stuff to be out there. But I wanted to talk about what this industry is and why we've sort of gone this road in trying to make things that aren't just the next new thing, right? That we're taking things that are developed around what people already are using to a degree, but we make them a little bit more what they should be, not what they shouldn't. And you've heard it when we talked about Shogunix, about it being a deck screener. And some people are like, it's a deck screener, cloud, blah, 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 whatever. No, it is a market analytics network that is geared more around the design and efforts of what a community is. Now, we had to start somewhere, so we developed that process over there. And so I'm going to take you back just for a second and tell you about deck screener and that mentality. But also, when we noticed like there was so much happening with deck screener, and the cost of it was so crazy. That's why we decided to go and make a Shogunix, is to help those profiles that, because there's like all these misgivings with deck screener. There's all these prices, there's all this money, you want to pay for listings, but we wanted to give you that process, where you had more control. But something else that we noticed in this industry as an alpha is there is a possibility that sometimes we try to fix things. Like our topic today was like CTO stuff, right? Like the communication, but a CTO usually goes wrong because the leadership doesn't want to be there anymore. They made their money and they're out, or they've given up, or they've scammed you, or they've done something. But we wanted to give people an opportunity to still, now because we like Pump Fund, it's very PvP-ish, but what if you could use Pump Fund with the same reverence as you would use, say, like Pink Sale with a fair sale? On Pump Fund, not Pimp Fund. I almost started a whole new project, right? On Pump Fund, be able to still use Pump Fund, but with the protection of a fair sale. And that is what Shogunix Launchpad is. This Launchpad system has a very unique process behind it. And it's simply all about the smart contract. So when you launch with us here, and this will be coming out in about 3 weeks, this is still on alpha. Remember, it's being built. It's here. This is real shit in here. This is real stuff. It's sitting on a dev net. We're working in all the systems in here. So I can actually click on and work and build out a coin and do all that stuff. I just can't launch it where it needs to go launch just yet, right? I do know like there is a whole process behind, like the one I was trying to create. I created today, right? This is a little test one that we're doing. And it has nothing to do. This is still all in test, right? It's all in dev. So it's don't think there's a new coin for Shogun coming out. It's all right here, right? But what this does is that, let's just say you want to start a new coin. Like you're going to start a coin. This is the first one. And you happen to find us, which you hit the gold mine right off the bat, right? That you get to this little site and you come in and you say to you and your other developers, your other partners, hey, I want to make a coin and I want to put it out on Pump Fund. But if I go to Pump Fund, there's a big chance that it could get rugged or get sniped and do all that happy horse shit, and I'm not going to be able to protect my money, right? And let's say you got 10 SOL that you want to be able to start with, but you don't have the full 85 SOL, but you still want to protect your little 10 SOL. You want to protect your 1 or 2 SOL in that process, right? So you can come here and start a project, pre-collect the money from all of the resources. You can have people come to here, buy in, do all that stuff. But while they're doing it, if they feel like there's any part of it that they don't like to be, they can remove their money. They can withdraw it. Boom, right off the bat. Like, I think this guy's not going to do it. I'm out, right? You can withdraw your money. Gotcha. Piece of cake. But let's just say that you do happen to get to your little 20 SOL or 10 SOL level that you want to put into Pump Fund, and then you fire it. And it takes all that money and takes it and puts it in Pump Fund. Now, that little 10 SOL or 20 SOL amount that you put in that goes into Pump Fund goes over to Pump Fund, and it starts the process and pump automatically. You don't got to go to Pump and do anything. But then what? Well, the money sits there in a safe contract that's attached to the Pump Fund contract. And what this does is that it protects the money even in Pump Fund. The owner can't rug. The owner can't pull. It protects everybody. It protects you as the dev, and it protects all of them as well. Even if the dev were to pull his money out, everybody else in the network could pull their money out as well. Now, the longer that it sits in there and the longer it gets to radium before you want to pull out and all that stuff, there's fees to all of it, right? There's fees to everything nowadays. But what it does, that the alternative is that you would lose all your money, or you could lose just a couple dollars of it. And then once it gets to radium, everything's released. Everybody gets their native token, whatever it is, whatever. And this one would be Koban, in that mentality. And you're all into the real world of stuff. That's what Shogun X Launchpad is all about. It's not just creating new coins. It's creating new coins in Pump Fund. We'll also have a version of this, which you'll be able to go straight to radium as well. And, it may be like a moonshot mentality, whatever, but with more control and honesty and honor. Now, with this, you'll also be able to do staking. Every dollar that's made in, it's 25% of every dollar that's made in this network is going back into the Shogun community and network, as far as either buy back or into the wallet of the systems for being able to give you as a coin holder, coin person, some of the project systems that we have, such as like our Anvil bot or our Tsunami bot. Imagine being able to take some of those fees and we'll put them into a Tsunami bot for a volume free system as soon as you hit radium. Super powerful. Or give you access to the Anvil bot, another super powerful system, right? But we'll talk about all those later. But this is our launch. This is our system that we have for the Launchpad shogunx.io. And this is coming into for its first beta. We're going to be looking for about 20 coins to come on, 20 people to come in and, help us figure some stuff out. We can conceptualize, we can come up with our own coins. We're going to release a little launch system of, Shogun related coin systems in here and have a little fun with this and see how that'll all work. There's just a lot of fun stuff that we're going to be able to get involved with this beautiful system here, along with the DEX Shogun X system. That'll be there as well, because you'll get immediate listing over there when you hit radium, and there's so much fun stuff in there because it'll be automatic. Like you'll go to here, hit radium, and you'll be in our system and being highlighted and featured because we're Shogun X. We protect our own. All right. Well, that was a lot of information. I know for all of you here in this little alpha portion of the show. Now we got to stick around longer. Why? Because here at the top of closer to the top of the hour at 2:45, 2:43, we just hit 512 people watching the show continuously, with over 1,100 people viewing the show over the time period of this almost 2 hours of this show. I want to thank Mr. Addison from PepsArt, Mr. Tripp over from Hedge. Welcome and thank you so much for being here today. This has been a wonderful time here in the process. But before we head into any direction, we're going to keep the show going. If anybody else wants to join us over here, please make sure. Thank you, Mr. Tripp, for saying that. It is very huge. We can't wait to get this thing. My boy is great. I also made sure to share with my wife's boyfriend. What a great dude. You're such a nerd, dude. I appreciate that. Too funny. Lots of great stuff coming for us today. But you guys here in the panel, we got Mr. Addison, we got Mr. Tripp. I think like, and it's not just like kudos trying to get something, from anybody just to give us, what we want to hear. But in your world of hedge, Mr. Tripp, the storyline is such the narrative there. What do you see as far as, for the future? Where do you see this really going to? How far up the chain do you see this thing happening? And I know to the moon, right? But the life of this for you as a holder, right? You're a holder of, and what brought you to that level of holding for hedge?
So, Trader Max, first off, I do want to say that I'm fairly new to the space of crypto as a whole. I did start out as a baby investor with Bitcoin and Ethereum back in 2018, 2019 timeframe. It was only up until maybe about 3 months ago I got really interested in the meme coin space, and the first one that caught my eye was hedge. And
are you kidding me? You got
absolutely,
in this space, and
not.
this is the first one.
Very first one. Very
That's
first
like
one. I think I
going
got
out
pretty
on a
lucky.
date and finding your 50-year marriage wife. You know what I mean?
Love at first sight. Well, first,
Very lucky.
I'm a natural skeptic, so I wanted to dive deep and look at everything about, because I mean, first of all, I came from the utility side of things, and then seeing, what is the value of the meme coin?
Right.
Well, in a grand scheme, I think the anti-value, it gives it the value. The community behind the coin is what builds up the pillars and the structure behind the value of the space itself, the meme itself. And so a hedge, it has its story, a relatable one. The main protagonist, I think Rob may have spoke about this a little bit.
Yeah,
that main protagonist, super relatable. He's down bad, he's struggling. He's not super rich. He's not. He's trying to get the girl of his dreams. And in order to do that, he's trying to win it in the world of investing, to show out, to become the best version of himself, not only as a person or as a hedgehog, but financially as well. And I think a lot of us can relate to that. And so that really drove me towards investing in hedge. And then looking on the team side of things, the team, they are nonstop. My phone is always blowing up, whether it's in the Telegram, the Discord, on X, and on TikTok. I mean, the team packs a punch, and they don't stop. And if you're even slightly more communicative than others, they quickly recognize that and ask you, okay, well, what do you think so far of how the community's been going? What do you think of the direction? Do you have anything that we should improve on? And they really care. I mean, they truly do. Yeah. I can't write this down on a script. This is just me coming from my own heart.
Well, listen, the writing the script was brilliant. It was done well, and you have a good dictation as you read, so that's fine. The antagonist in there, though, of Hendrix, man, I kind of relate to him. Like, I want to go murder this kid, just the way he looks, like Chad Drix or something in there. I like the fact it's like Hendrix, because it kind of looks like a Hendrix in a mentality. So you see this thing as you hit this right out of the ballpark, first into the space, and you're in Hendrix, or you're in Hedge. Do you see yourself as good actors, bad actors come in and go? Do you see a lot of turnover in the network of people that coming in, or is it just it's always so busy you don't even notice?
I'm pretty active in the spaces myself. When new users come, they 90% of the time come and stay, and then they ask questions, and then they become more involved, and then they quickly become part of the councils and the circles of asking those critical questions. How can we improve, stuff like that. As far as negative or bad actors, I think the spaces are pretty curated, because there's so many active users. People will come in and try to scam the community. That's taken down under 90 seconds. I mean, every single time.
So, but you also have a Discord channel, right?
Absolutely.
So here's a question from Nerdy Dude. It says, Trip, how cohesive is the community with both Discord and Telegram?
So I
How do you think
think
you answer that?
I think between the Telegram and the Discord, the Telegram is by far more active than the Discord. There is cross communication between the Discord and the Telegram. However,
Okay.
there are steps being taken to bring some of that audience from the Telegram into the Discord to share that electricity. And a lot of the eyes, the new users coming in, the new investors in Hedge come from the Reddit. As a matter of fact,
Oh, really? Okay.
tons from Reddit.
Wow. That is amazing because and I'm such a nerd as well. Like the old days of doing like let's make a Discord. I hated Telegram. I really did. I thought it was it's a buzz feed. And that might be, you know what, there's like they're probably going to yell at me for saying this. But the whole concept behind, Telegram and that whole mentality of bringing people in quantity over quality kind of thing always disturbed me. Right. But, I call it casting a wide net to catch a minnow and getting some beer bottles, and every once in a while a shark. But the concept for us here, in this, like we did this little backwards, we're doing a little bit of shill right now, right? Chilling, I should say. But the history for me was always Discord. Like I owned a big gaming network, and I had 4,200 people in my Discord that I would game with. So I got used to that hierarchy. But then I made one for what we were going to try to do, and everybody was like, nope, don't want to have nothing to do with Discord. That's a kid's gaming thing, whatever it is. And so we never really got past the fuel of it. And then Reddit, my brother and I, who's Crypto Memer 77, got into Reddit a long time ago. Like when it was like, if you say anything negative, you're out, right? Like there's no shilling, there's no nothing, there's no ad space, there's no nothing in that nonsense. And the whole thing about karma and all that kind of bullshit was always to put off to me. But then I met Dog, and Dog really convinced me. He's like, hey, we got to get over there. Let's do it. We made a subreddit, and that came with controversy. But it's been great. I haven't tracked over as much of the Reddit's analytics, but man, I'm pretty sure it's pretty high, which I do agree. So what about Mr. Addison? If you're still here, how do you find yourself in your community? You're mostly just using Telegram, right? You don't use any other forums, as we talked about earlier.
Our main communication is Telegram and X, like X chats and stuff. We have Discord being like set up. I think the use of Discord over Telegram, why I think it's good to have the Discord is because you can run a lot more community events, and announcements are a little bit more clear, and do the use of like different channels and having everyone in the same place versus what I found on Telegram is that, if you do the option of doing the topics, it obfuscates the voice chat, and people don't really like that. So
the
best solution that I have found is just filtering like another Telegram. Like, so I'll have like another private group to like the Pepsard one. Like we have like a meme Telegram that if you type in meme, that Telegram will pop up. If you type in like raid, like the raid Telegram will pop up. We have like a separate like team Telegram and stuff. So it gets a little confusing when you start to like, expand out and have a bunch of different Telegrams where, using a Discord would be a little bit easier to set up those different channels and keep everyone in the same place and engaging. Like you can have a separate like token gated whale chat or whatever. You can do different like roles and stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot of the demographic stuff that's in there too that can, see user activity. It can correspond. There's AI integration now with Discord. Like there's a million and one things you do. Somebody did also say,
and so
see where it is.
Can I say one last thing? So just starting with Telegram is great, and if it takes traction, you have a real community to run those type of community events and that kind of stuff. I would definitely, set up a Discord as well and use both, because some people might like Discord over Telegram, and you can run different events and different things on Discord than you can do on Telegram. So start with Telegram, and then you can move to setting up a Discord and building the community around there.
You're absolutely right. So in both, okay, I'm sure I'm muted. In both, from Telegram to Discord, we have our own portal system as well that we use over on Shogun using our WebForge technology. So there's a little bit of everything. But what I do find is compartmentalization is good to a degree. But when you get too many levels of compartmentalization, like there's like 500 or 100 something different rooms to be in, and you got to go check every single one a day. Navigation is tough. But I guess the biggest thing for us is the power of how do you relay information. Like it's usually a trickle down effect. Like the leaders come in and like, this is what we're going to do. And then they tell everybody what we're doing, and then they got to go in and tell everybody else what they're doing. For us, it's more of the top of us that are doing the work tell the group, and then they tell another group and another tell a group. But the problem sometimes with that is like telephone, right? Telegram, telephone, whatever it is, tell a friend. But it's not always correct, right? So we try to relay information via, videos that we do with like alpha shows and things like that. And that's pretty important. I think another big thing here is like, what did somebody say here? Facebook is now getting hot as well. Basically, crypto is hot, that every platform is popping off. Absolutely. And that leads me into another question. For the rest of the show, we're going to be in this chill kind of mentality. We've already popped in and done a lot of good shilling for either Hedge or for Pepsart and for Shogun and for Anvil and for Tsunami. I really didn't talk about those too much today. But I do want to talk about this process of what's to come in the world of crypto and what we've seen so far. The 5-letter word of Trump being, a political statement, but with Elon and all these other people, the normalization of crypto is at hand, right? And we see things like on-chain labs, we see Paul's chain, we see like all these places that are saying that they're going to be able to pipe in normies. I think the ones that, it's tough because a lot of these places use all different types of technology to try to trick it and wormhole it and get it there. But the ones that are really going to go through, like I've seen with on-chain labs, is that, and I'm not promoting them right now. I am promoting them, but not right now. But is their willingness to do the work, right? And what is the work for something to get normies in? That's the legality, right? The compliance that you have to kind of follow through. And just like with Bitcoin in the beginning, getting through all that nonsense of trying to find, how can I get it to the regular people? It went from an anon thing to, every time I pull it out of my bank account, they know exactly what I bought. Where do you see you guys, as far as like Trip, you've been in, at least you came into the world and found your perfect mate. Addison, you've been around the block a few times. Crypto Quinton been around it too. And also in the chat, I would like some feedback too. We'll share it here to the screen. About where you see crypto going. I'm not talking about in the years to come, but I'm talking about in this quarter. In Q1 of 2025, where do you see crypto being? And let's see who's going to be right. We'll kind of earmark this a little bit today. So in this little shill segment, let me ask you each, just with a little short brief system of where do you think crypto is going to be in your world within the next 3 months? Let's start with Mr. Addison.
Yeah, so I'm more of a realist. You got to kind of like rope in the moon boy. Like we always, well, this time I've kind of related. It kind of feels like when we like how it kind of felt like when we kind of pumped back up to like 19K before we broke the 2017 all-time high into that 2019, and then we like pulled back to like 18K, 17K, and then we ripped up. So I think we're kind of like in that time, going into, Trump being inaugurated, we might see a little bit of a pump up. But to get to some of those like regulations, it might take, a couple months. So you realistically might see like a little pump up, but you also might see like a little bit of a chop. I don't think we're gonna, rip like immediately. Usually the all-time high we usually see like 15 to 18 months after the halvening.
The beginning, yeah.
So probably closer to like later in the year. So realistically, we might, it might, push back up over 100K. It might dip down in the next 3 months down to 70, 80K to shake people out. The biggest thing in this entire market is that, when big players miss the boat, the big players pull that boat back. So a lot of
they don't miss it. They just make a new boat. Let's just be real. They just grab whatever, they sink it, and they don't care anymore.
Right. So there's a lot of people seeing Bitcoin at 100K, and they're like, okay, we missed the boat a little bit. We're seeing more of the hyper Bitcoinization where America is adopting it, and all these other countries are trying to get ahead of the curve. Trying to implement new legislation to kind of get ahead of America, because once America adopts it and starts to DCA in, and it's really game on for the rest of the world. We're really going to see it rip to a couple 100,000, couple million. But next 3 months, realistically, I do see it tapping like 70, 80K before we rip higher. Because
you think a pullback, of course, into
because I don't think this transition of power is going to be as seamless as people are hoping. And this, as we're seeing in LA and stuff, like there's going to be some natural disasters and some devastation and some war and stuff that, always causes impacts to the market, right? And as we saw with like what happened with COVID and stuff, you might see something, come out of the blue that, makes the markets tank really bad. That stuff's never out of the question. And especially with this time, and everything going on, like, America, like big.
So
yeah.
You see as crypto as a whole is using Bitcoin as the analysis of the success of coin itself, at being like 70 is an overall of at least 10 to 15% pullback to that lower level.
We're on an uptrend, so we'll chop around between those levels, and we'll see what happens with the transition of Trump getting into power and how that goes, and what happens with the legislation that he puts into place with making crypto a little bit more clear landscape for people to feel comfortable placing their money in this industry, right?
Before I turn to Trip, I just want to add a little bit of what you had said in there. But the concept for me for looking at Bitcoin as the primary is I think Bitcoin is going to do its own thing no matter what the legislation is. It's still going to be in that mentality. As it makes it easier to make it more fundamental, yes. But the small people, our world, the memers, the Solana, that kind of mentality, I think is so far stuck in regulation on not just about making it easier for normies to get in, but to have companies be able to create substantial availability to be a part of, even if it is regulated, right? And I hate to say, that I want to make it regulated at all, because that would be nonsense. But the concept of these bigger companies being able to come in, like credit card companies. There's other countries in the world too that are heavily regulated. Germany is incredibly regulated. Like,
there's
you go to
so
jail.
much hesitation, like with people like building in the space, because they don't want to get, they don't want SEC scrutiny and shit.
Right. But you also, I think the big $1 million companies are reluctant to buy into and create liquidity into things because they don't trust the market. We come as finally, we're like the Midwest of the United States, like, maybe 1870 in that area, right? Where, you're still Indians, there's still a lot of stuff, there's land grabs, but there's sort of murderous intent happening. And as we sort of colonize and I hate to say that, that we go in and structure this land of crypto, there are going to be forgivenesses, but there also, that unique PvP world is going to sort of end in a way. Let's jump over to Trip and see what his viewpoint is. you landlubber coming into this world and grabbing onto your first love of hedge, which is awesome. I love that story. I hope that really turns out and keeps you going. I love it. So what do you think in the next 3 months? Where do you think we're going to be?
Yeah, when you were first asking the question, Trader, before you had finished, my brain was already trying to think of the long term, and then you shot it down to, okay, well, the first quarter. Like, well, now I had to do some rethinking for a moment. I think I'd have to first touch on, well, the exposure of cryptocurrency as a whole to the rest of the regular or general population. 5 to 7% of the entire world uses crypto. I mean, that's nothing. That's not even a drop in the bucket. I think it goes to what happens on January 20th if Trump gets inaugurated. And I think as we
that's a tough one. If he gets inaugurated,
right.
Is he accidentally going to fall down the stairs tomorrow?
I mean, who knows? Who knows?
Yeah.
I mean, the world is crazier, and it gets crazier and crazier by the day. And I mean, this man has a lot of enemies, and a lot of enemies with a lot of power, a lot of money, and maybe lack of principle, depending on who you ask.
That's always been a thing. I mean, yeah, I agree that you're right. Like, it does depend on a lot of that on the 20th, but that 20th is only 9 days away. And here's the thing, right? Let's get down to the nitty gritty of it. It's where is crypto really going to be in 3 days? Crypto is going to be wherever we take it, right? There's all this speculational value, and whether or not you believe that the river bends left or it bends right, you're still in the fucking water swimming. And if you know how to swim, right? And here's where the true answer for me, right? And I'm going to stop you because I know that you're going down to speculation. I'm going to let you finish if you like. But if you, as a person who's new to this space, understand this, that crypto is going to be wherever crypto is. I used to have this, my brother and I, Crypto Memer 77, Brian, him and I used to gold pan, right? Just fun, just like get in the river. We lived in Colorado. Come on, for Christ's sake, let's get out there in the river and pan for gold. Let's pull the money out of the river, right? And one of the questions I asked this old dude, he was up panning up river from us. And I said, yo, old timer, where do you find gold at? He goes, you find gold wherever you find it. I'm like, motherfucker, this is existential fortune cookie bullshit. Tell me where I fucking find the gold. And he goes, no, really, bud, you find it everywhere. It's gold's everywhere. It's just like where you're going to dig, how far you're going to dig, and what you're going to do to get to it. And that's the same philosophy that I get with every business that I build. Crypto is going to be wherever crypto is. It's going to be high, it's going to be low. Can you make money? Can you do stuff? Can you go with the flow? I'm not hedging. I'm not, no pun intended, hedge, but I'm not hedging on anything of, I'm going to hold my basket until this happens. I'm going to make shit happen now. Crypto, in my eyes, the next 3 months will be wherever we fucking take it. I'm not talking about just Shogun. I'm talking about like hedge and, Pepsard and Crypto Quinton stuff and Memer and Dog and all you people in there. You can read as many speculational articles as you do, but as you're living it, step forward, keep moving forward. Don't stop yourself to read all the roses, smell them, have fun, and do it. Right? All right. Trip, you've impressed me with the way you've come in and you have conducted yourself. Thank you so much. We've gone a couple of minutes past the hour. It's about 7 minutes after the hour. We're at 556 active users on our stream, active users with over 2,000 views to the show already through the network. Congratulations. What a fucking success. I thought it was an anomaly yesterday. We only wanted to come out for a 15-minute show, and we came out for that show, and boy, was it. I just didn't know where it was going to go, and it just took off with no advertising, with not a single hashtag anywhere in that network, with not a single preset to anybody else. Only Crypto Quinton and I knew that we were doing a show, and it just hustled and it pulled so many people in. Today, we had even more success because we had some people here. We didn't even pre-launch the show. We just told people in our group, get ready, be in, share it amongst, and get people on. And boy, has it been amazing. But here's the cool thing about what we're doing with this show. It's just going to grow, and we're going to be able to invite more people as we're going to re-invite back Trip, of course, and others from Hedge, from Addison. As many views as we can get from Hedge, the better, right? Like more people that we can hear from and talk to. So the more points of view. But Trip, you're always welcome here as you come in. If you want to do a quick shill in, one of the shows that we're doing, we'd like to have you back as a panelist as well, Mr. Addison as well. you guys have done a great job today. Mr. Quinton, I think one of the things that you provide to this show is a constant flow behind the scenes. Great job today, son, that you have just done an absolutely wonderful job.
Thank you, sir. I really appreciate it.
There is
having me, and I look forward to coming back and sharing updates on PepSart, and looking forward to seeing everything that Shogun is releasing. Make sure to follow everyone, and yeah, I'm looking forward to being more tapped into this community.
Yeah, absolutely, my man. You're welcome here. You're a trusted soul in our network. You're also using our Anvil bot, which is a market making. It's becoming a market maker as we add more things to it. Again, it was only in alpha up to about 2 weeks ago, right before we came into the new year. And we got it into beta and got out of beta into production to MVP. That's the next after beta. And that MVP has done a very good job. We've gotten some more stuff. Oh, as an announcement for that, just so you're here, you hear it first here, right? When we were building the Shogun Tsunami and the Shogun Anvil, one thing that I polled people about volume bots was, what are some of the things that you wish some of these bigger companies had, right? And it was, I wanted to have more control over time, and I wanted to have the wallet, right? Like I don't have control over the wallet. I put money into it, it runs until it's done, and then I never see it again, right? I'm done. And then I go and get a new one and a blah, blah, blah. But in both the Tsunami bot, the Shogun Tsunami bot and the Anvil bot now, not only can you withdraw, but you can have keys to the wallet. That's a very important, because now you own that wallet. And the Anvil bot is a one wallet system. The Tsunami bot, you can have multiple orders. And now inside the Tsunami system too, if you're already used to the Tsunami, you already know that we had some times having a hard time reading which order was available and all that. Lots of demographics, and we're going to be putting out some more videos on it. But now it has order numbers. Now we have the availability to know who's who in the back office. We're also updated the deposit information. Now, some of you, if you're watching, if you're using the Tsunami, go check your wallet to make sure you may still have what we call tailings, not dust, tailings. Like if you put in a soul, it would run down to it had 0.37 left if you started with a soul, and it would left you 0.37. We actually had one user who was using it so much, he had so much money left in there. And we wanted to make sure we put it up front to tell people about that. So make sure you go back to check your Tsunami wallet, and you have the keys to it now. So you own those wallets. Like that one person had 12 wallets that he had 12 orders he had put in. And so now he owned the 12 wallets there that he could put a little soul in and keep those as holders on the system as well. So lots of great stuff that's come out and what we have coming out for this week. 564 people here towards the end of the show. And you guys have been such an awesome part of our show here. Trip, thank you so much for being here today.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. Looking forward to the next broadcast. Everybody go out there, follow Trader Max, like, retweet, get on Shogun Crypto, subscribe, follow, do all those things. This is the first of the beginning of something fantastic. Y'all have a great one.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Trip, for being here. Thanks to Addison. Thanks to everybody else that is here. We're going to finish out with a little short push out on our show, a little live outro to a degree, and then we'll finish off with a regular outro in the network. Excuse me, as I'm doing this as we get going. But I wanted to thank everybody in the chat, from Dog with this great connection into the Reddit system, Amy in there, Amy AK47, one of our top 5 in there, sharing the links and getting that shit out there. Absolutely wonderful. Loving this entire process. This was another sort of impromptu show today, brought to you by our friends here at Shogun Gun Show and Shogun, and as well as our panelists and Schiller from Trip to Addison and everybody else here from PepSart. Lots of great stuff. Make sure that you check out all the wonderful things that they shared links with in that process. And the few shows to come, our next show is on Tuesday at 1 p.m. Eastern. And we're going to see if we can break a couple thousand on that show, because we're going to be promoting it. And we're going to have some panelists. There'll be 2 or 3 panelists up here. And we'll have these Shill, Chill, and Alpha areas where each one of us will be talking about our stuff. You'll come back. You'll join us. You'll watch. You'll be entertained. You'll be informed. You'll be educated. You'll be all kinds of things. You may even see some great deals and some things to give away right here on the show. By interacting, we're going to have some special links that'll be in this show format here today in this stuff. Come back to this show area. We may even have a link to the show for Tuesday in another. So make sure you check Shogun Crypto's X feed and website to be able to join the show, become a panelist, become a shiller, even become a sponsor of the show, right? You can actually create sponsorships for yourself, and we'll come in and we'll show whether you're a coin or a utility or a network. Very, very inexpensive stuff for the kind of shows that we do and all the content that comes with it. What a great day. Thank you so much to everybody being here, and let's begin the outro. Hey everybody, it's me, Trader Max from Shogun Gun Show, and we're here at the final side of our show today. What a great show it was with all you great, wonderful people. Over 570 people here on the show, continuous throughout the day. Now, if you want to be a part of the Shogun family and come on over, go over to shoguncrypto.com and look on the space for spaces information, and you can get some information there. By Monday morning, we'll have a lot of stuff ready for you to be a panelist, a shiller, or a sponsor. And at any level, you're going to have fun. You're going to get a lot of information out there. And I want to thank everybody that was in the chat today, Sharon and just Karen, all day long in that process. Thank you so much with another great show with my buddy, my son, my family, my love, Crypto Quentin. Thank you so much for being here today, son.
Thank you, sir. It's fantastic having you. Fantastic job to Mr. Max and everyone else here in the chat. Thank you for all your wonderful interactions. It was fantastic having you all here today.
Absolutely, my man. Great job. Now, this show has never been done before like this. And there's so many more coming that I can't wait. And I'm so elated and excited about what's about to happen. And so make sure that you check out everything that we did today. I don't even know what else to say at this point. But let me tell you one last piece of advice. In order to get out there and have fun, be yourself, be real, right? The best revenge out there is living well. For all the naysayers that are in your life, tell them to go fuck off by doing the best that you can. Success only comes to those that work for it. All right, I'm Trader Max with Crypto Quentin, and here on the Shogun Gun Show, where we get to flex our muscle a little bit and just have some fun in our network. We love you all. Have a great day, and as always, live well.